Monsters and Memories is a classically inspired MMO in development by a mostly volunteer team that is currently self-funded. And by classically inspired, I mean this game is freaking EverQuest. Not the current EverQuest, not the EverQuest progression servers, more like the EverQuest of 1999. P99 EverQuest. I'm talking about the naked corpse run experience. I'm talking about the difficult experience. I'm talking about the panic and fear experience.
Dad!
Oh no, oh no. It's flying and it's attacking. Oh God. Oh, there's two of them. Oh God. Oh no! Run! Mind the gap. No, Mitch. You'll be remembered. Monsters and Memories is making some great progress. I first covered Monsters and Memories back in July of 2022 in a video titled, "Is this MMO the spiritual successor of classic EverQuest?" And as the game has come more and more into focus, it's really starting to feel like it is. Earlier in 2023, Monsters and Memories ran their first stress tests where they essentially tried to break the servers, and in some ways, they did. Earlier in 2023, Monsters and Memories did run a stress test that had really so much lag in it that it inspired this very memorable moment that probably will stick with me for a very long time, just for how it worked out. You all know that there's only one way to go down, right? There is no fall damage yet. There is no fall damage just yet. See, I'm testing all the things. There is delayed fall damage though. But like I said, this last test was less about just getting in the game and trying to break the servers, and more about having some fun. The most recent test took place over 34 hours. It was stable, it was mercifully lag-free, at least when I played on the EU server, and it showed a core gameplay loop, though with obvious need for more content, more NPCs in the city, more players, more quests, icons, UI, etc. But that's all to be expected. This game is still very early in testing, so keep that in mind as we dive into this first look on Monsters and Memories. I was greeted first by a refined character creator that showed off the variety Monsters and Memories offers, from humans to ogres to walking beards with ham fists. I mean, seriously, look at this glorious bastard. He's at least 70% beard and 25% hands. Of the 12 planned playable races, 6 of them are now in. They'd probably have all 12, but I imagine it took at least the entire team a couple of weeks just to rig the glorious beard. In recent years, many MMOs have gone the route of least resistance when it comes to character creation, honing in on minute details like eyes, noses, jaws, etc. But while detail customization has improved, they've shifted away from dramatic differences in playable races. I have to think this is largely due to the extra work having such different body sizes and animations. I mean, hell, just look at the difference between the ogre and the goblin. The goblin, cute, sweet, until... That thing is that is the face of nightmares. It will haunt me always. So of course I made one. But as much as I enjoyed my little goblin and trying to run around and getting totally lost in the city, which by the way, there are no maps at all, you have to kind of figure out where things are, I actually had more fun with my ham-fisted dwarven bard. Fully equipped with the best traits you could find, like charismatic and damage boosting skills, as well as ultravision, which allowed me to see better in the dark, something that would certainly help everyone. But there are more interesting traits to pick from, like day blindness, a trait that reads that it will make seeing in daylight harder. I mean, who would pick that trait? Who would pick day blindness? That's just silly.
Over the horizon. Oh, it's like an arse with legs.
A beard with legs and an ass with legs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh fuck!
What you
It is it.
Mitch Mannix, of course. Of course. Mitch Mannix was kind enough to join me, perhaps to wash clean their memories of grinding in EverQuest the last time I played an MMO with them. Little do they know that this was the MMO I asked them to play. If the littering of corpses all around the newbie area wasn't indication enough, it was clear that there was at least going to need to be some safety in numbers, and going through Monsters and Memories solo would be quite deadly. So armed with our impressive beards and tankard hands, we went to work. Me with my bard skills, Mitch with his weak heels. Exploring around the safety of the guards, we went about destroying the unknowing fauna throughout Monsters and Memories. I'd suggest it moves a bit faster than say P99 would, though it is important to regenerate your mana and your health when you can, or fights can go poorly quickly.
Oh fuck!
What you
It is it.
Conning creatures, that is, considering their level by pressing C when with them targeted, was important to tell if we had a chance. Anything yellow con or higher was dangerous, and we didn't dare try anything that was a red con, at least not on purpose. You see, my curiosity got the better of me, and they had this interesting, cool, little glowy green place off in the distance.
I want to go to that shiny green thing. I don't think it's in the game yet, though. You see that off in the distance? Like, looking like a Lord of the Rings.
Curiosity was too much, and I led our intrepid duo into the dunes. And even seeing a rare, super rare, tree fire beetle stuck in the trees, and seeing that as it must be a good sign. Absolutely had to be a good sign that fortune would favor us, and we would meet the challenge, and we would reach the glowy place over yonder. That was where I ran into our first zone line. Monsters and Memories is not a seamless world. It has zones like older MMOs, and I'll admit, I got jump scared by the zone line because I didn't know it was there. For anyone who hasn't played an MMO with zone lines before, they changed some strategic thinking in the game. Generally, hanging near a zone line is safer because NPCs cannot follow you across the line, so if you pull too much, you have a safe escape. There's only one problem with that strategy. You actually have to be close enough to the zone line for that strategy to work. We weren't. Oh no! Oh no! You see, enemies in Monsters and Memories don't necessarily tether the way that you would expect in some games, like say World of Warcraft, and that is in part because of the zone lines. And early on, you're not exactly going to have a bunch of movement speed boosts to help you escape something a bit faster. Now, this was something we figured out in the dunes, and something that we also got a really first-hand experience of how the death penalties work in this MMO. And they are suitably punishing. Not only do you respawn with no gear, there's extra punishment in the form of your spell books, which are also left on your corpse. Naked corpse runs are dangerous and difficult, and on top of it all, you have to remember where you died, which can be a challenge in itself. You can consent other players to drag your corpse, which at least makes it easier to get it if someone else finds it, or if someone with you can get it somewhere safer. This would be something that came in really handy when we reached out to our newfound guild, Buddy System, and many of them heeded the call to join us. Not in the dunes, no, much scarier than that. In a freaking dungeon. At only level 3, we were already delving into group-centric dungeons. This was a huge highlight for me. In a game like this that doesn't rely on solo quests providing the experience needed to level, you get what I would consider to be a blue chip experience in an MMO where dungeons are important. Actually getting to play in the dungeon early. Hell, one of my biggest gripes recently playing WoW Classic Season of Discovery has been the over-reliance on solo quests that are actually mostly detrimental to do with other people instead of like dungeons or kill quests or grinding mobs. But back to Monsters and Memories. The dungeon itself looked cool, the entrance was nice and daunting, and once inside you were welcomed with a series of hallways, copious amounts of skeletons eager to get you to join their ranks, or at least eager to eat the soft squishy parts inside of you. As well as pits to jump over and a trap which, well, led to nowhere. It also gave me the opportunity to tell my British friend to mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
As we jumped across as we fled for our lives. That was a moment for me. All of this gave a taste of what this team can make when it comes to a dungeon. We spent a few hours in the dungeon and didn't uncover nearly all of its secrets. It harkened back to days of Magena in Everquest, where you unraveled mysteries as you played. And despite Mitch and I's proclivity for early and untimely deaths punctuated by screaming, oh no, this isn't good. No. Heal. Shit. That'll do it. We actually did really well with our little group. Our healer was fantastic despite our two tanks, Mitch, the paladin, and our goblin fighter friend doing everything possible to cause chaos. Our enchanter was quick to charm skeletons, throwing them into the maelstrom as an extra ally, which is also where we found out two interesting and kind of terrifying things. First, charm clerics actually buff the enchanter who charmed them. I wasn't sure if they healed as well, but this is an awesome dynamic. Second, less awesome and mostly horrifying, cleric NPCs had Gate, and they would cast it near death. Gate is a spell that returns an NPC or player to their bind point, and for the NPCs that usually means bringing shit tons of deadly friends in to destroy you. This really highlighted the danger and challenge of Monsters and Memories. This is not going to be an easy game. It may look simple, but that doesn't mean easy. As we continued to travel through the dungeons, we encountered a few rare creatures, one of whom was very fond of giving Mitch Mannix all sorts of diseases, but we persevered and we prevailed. We conquered our foes, and even though experience was slow, perhaps too slow for group content, we were having fun. That was until Mitch Mannix had to leave.
Over the horizon. Oh, it's like an arse with legs. Oh fuck! It is it dead.
Something about tea and crumpets and going off to some meeting with the British cabal of all the MMO YouTubers. It's led by Josh Drive Hayes. I don't know, I'm only half English, so I don't get invited to the cult meetings yet. Without our stalwart and risk-taking paladin, we quickly fell in behind our tenacious goblin leader, and I think this is where I learned to never follow a goblin fighter into deep dark dungeons with scary skeletons. Is that a bit of a very specific life lesson? Well, yes, for sure it is, but it's one that, I mean, what did you expect? What did you expect from an MMO? Did you expect to learn morals from an MMO? Have you ever been on a PvP server? Have you watched General Chat? This is the best you're gonna get. We delved deep, very deep into the dungeon, which seemed to have endless dead ends between ramps down to lower levels. It was here at what I believe is the lowest level we came face to face with our strongest foe. We readied ourselves for a battle of the ages, sharpening our blades, beating our war drums, and readying my angry, impertinent shout. Because as a dwarven bard with an incredible beard, what else would I do but shout and dig holes? Diggy, diggy holes. Then the moment came. We charged, we let out our battle cry, and screamed. Again, but much higher pitched this time. In the blink of an eye, we were overrun, outmatched, destroyed, decimated, torn to shreds. We fled for our lives, but died with our backs turned. And no, not to the vicious, ghostly enemy. No. We died to some random trash in the room long before you actually got to the named. From there, reality set in. We had to get our fucking bodies. We had to get our spells. We had to get our loot, our armor, our everything. We were naked. Corpse runs in this MMO are daunting and scary, as I've said before. Corpse runs in this game in the depths of a dungeon after a total party wipe, downright horrifying. We got lucky though, as another group was passing through, clearing the way so we were able to snag our corpses and regroup. Things could have gone very differently though, and it's something to prepare for if you plan to play Monsters and Memories. This game is going to feel hardcore and very old school. And that, I think, is a good way to put it. It is an MMORPG that is perhaps the most classically inspired MMO experience I've played in some time, and the progress they've made from the first playtest to now is absolutely heartening. It feels much more like a game with potential now than it did back then. This MMO may be niche, it's not going to break MMO player records, but it feels like an MMO made for a very specific community. A community of players that will absolutely love it. My name is Redbeard Flynn. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Monsters and Memories for letting me watch this. Thank you to Mitch for joining me on this journey. I have linked his channel down below. Please go check him out. He is without a doubt one of the best MMO and RPG YouTubers on this platform. Funny as hell. And thank you to everyone in the group that delved into the dungeon with me and kept me alive long enough to get enough footage to make this video worthwhile. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like right down there. It does more than you know, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. This is horrifying. What is this? What? What? What the fuck? I wasn't recording. I had to turn on record. It was like, what the hell is this?